Hello, friends. Welcome back. And today's topic is very interesting and it's very often liked by all the students' fraternity. So let's begin with our topic. And this is called National Income and Related Aggregates. When I say national income and related aggregates, okay, let's go step by step. Whenever we say which is the developed country, what about the income of that country? So, which income aggregate very often is talked about? We say GDP. Yes, GDP. But at the same time, we have this GDP stands for gross domestic product. And in our previous chapter, we got to know that there is a parallel concept of gross versus net. There is another concept of domestic versus national. Right. And we do have one more concept which we read in the previous chapter, that is factor cost versus market price. So it means GDP is not the only expression of income of any nation. We have some others also. Let's try to derive from this only. Like we have GDP, on a parallel note, we would have NDP. I have tried to alter the first position as gross has got another concept of net. On a similar note, instead of D, that is domestic, if I say N, that is national, so I get to have GNP and here it is NNP. Right. I have utilized this. I have utilized this. Now, what does this FC and MP work here? Okay. So I would rewrite all these means these four concepts GDP, GNP, again NDP and NNP. These have to be once calculated at FC and once to be calculated at MP. This way, if we go systematically one by one, we have written all the 8 possible national income aggregates. So, how many income aggregates are there in national income accountancy? These are 8 income aggregates. In this, NNP at FC, this is called the national income. And when we just alter this position and DP at FC, this becomes the domestic income. So this is domestic income aggregate and this is national income aggregate. And very often we come across a question carrying 1 mark, define GDPMP, GNPFC, DPFC, etc. Anything. So to have that understanding, we would simply try to weave the meaning right by understanding what is to be written when we see G. G means gross. It means it's the gross value. It includes the depreciation part, right? And N is the net value. It doesn't include the depreciation part. Okay. When we see, I have covered the first point, either G or N. Now let me cover the second point, that is either D. This is the first place I've covered in the national income aggregates. This is second place is either D or N. D means domestic and it means we'll write in domestic territory. Right. Wherever we see N, we will write by normal resident. Right. What is the next concept we must note? This is one is FC and the other is MP. FC is, what is FC? At factor cost. And MP is at market price. What do we mean by these? We have already understood in the previous chapter that market price means NIT has been taken care of. In factor cost, NIT has been added, means IT as well as subsidies have been treated to get MP. But FC means NIT is yet to be treated. The taxes are yet to be paid. Right. And another point, the common point in all eight income aggregates is P. P is the product. And product means the final value of all the goods and services produced in an economy in one financial year. Now, it becomes very easy. Whichever term is given to you, you have to pick these key points and reframe the definition. Like if I have GDPMP, so how would I define this? I'll say the gross value of all the goods and final goods and services produced in an economy during a period of 1 year in the domestic territory calculated at market price. Point is, this is the whole dictionary. You have to pick all the words from here and weave a definition. Like the definition of NNPFC. So I have to speak about N, I have to speak about N, I have to speak about P and then FC. Right? The final value of all the goods and services calculated at factor cost produced by the normal resident of the country in 1 year. If we have, say, GNPFC, the gross value of all the final products, goods and services produced by a normal resident calculated at factor cost. So you have to pick up the keywords. There are these 3 points and this P is common in all the 8 definitions. You would have the final goods and services produced in an economy in a period of 1 financial year. So this part remains the common in all the 8 definitions and rest you have either of these 3 to be picked, either G or N or D or N or FC or MP. This way, you weave it and you are ready with 8 definitions created for you. So, moving ahead, after defining these 8 income aggregates, how do we convert these income aggregates? So, again, we come back to our previous knowledge of 3 vital equations. What are they? Gross and net have got some relationship. Gross is equal to net plus depreciation, or you may say gross minus depreciation is net. Then we have domestic, add NFIA, that gives you national. And then you have factor cost, add NIT to get market price. So, if in some question, say you are given GDPMP and you have to convert it into NNP at FC. So, this is to get, this is to begin with. So, what is to be done? How do we convert GDPMP into NNPFC? Let us go step by step. Here we need to convert G into N. So gross, how do we convert? Whatever is to be made, that will remain alone. Means gross minus depreciation will give us net. Whatever we have to make, we keep that on one side and rest of the things go on the other side. So gross, from the very first equation you see, gross, if we want to convert net into gross, we will add depreciation. If we want to convert gross into net, so we will subtract depreciation. So gross minus depreciation gives us net. Right. So with this, we are sorted with first part. Then we have domestic. So domestic has to be converted into national. Right. So whatever we have to convert, that is to be treated, and whatever we have to get, that is to be separated. We need national. So how do we get national from domestic? We would add NFIA in domestic to get national. So we have domestic, we will add NFIA, and it will be national. So I have done two steps as of now. P is the same as P. So we do not have any change here, right? Now MP is to be converted into FC. So MP is to be converted. It means MP would be treated. There would be some addition or subtraction done in MP. So what would it be? NIT to be subtracted from MP to make FC. So MP minus NIT will give you FC, and you are done with the third aspect as well. So this is MP. MP is now converted into FC. This way, we have tried converting GDP MP into NNP FC. Let us go for another example to make it more clear. And these conversions would definitely be an inseparable part of all the calculations and the numericals which you are going to do ahead. So that becomes a base for your national income accounting calculations. Let's begin. We have been given NDPFC and we want to have NNPFC, say. So let us compare. How do we go about it? We have N here and N here. So no difference is required. We have domestic here and we want to convert it into national. So when domestic is there, we add NFIA to make it national. So this way, I have converted this domestic into national. Now I'm left with P, which is same here, FC, which is same here. So it means I'm done with this conversion. Let us take another example. I have yes, I have GDP FC and I want to make the domestic income of the nation NDP FC. So how do we go about? Gross is to be converted into net. So gross minus depreciation gives you net. DPFC and DPFC are the same. So we are done with this conversion. Let's take another example. I have to convert NPFC into GDP MP. So how do we go about? We have NNPFC because the numericals can demand any of the 8 income aggregates from you. It's not always that you are asked to make the domestic income or the national income. No. So we can have the conversions from national income and NPFC to some other income aggregates. Let's do it. Now we have net with us and we want to make it gross. So what do? We will add depreciation, right? National is given to us and we want to convert it into domestic. So we will subtract NFIA and FC is there. So add NIT to make it MP. And with these, we are done with this conversion. These conversions are vital, most important, and the backbone for doing these conversions are is these three equations. You must learn all these three equations by heart. Instead of learning and cramming, you must understand the meaning. Whenever depreciation is added to net, that gives you gross. In domestic, we add NFIA to get national. And when NIT is added to factor cost, that becomes the market price. So, over for the day today. We would have another enriching session later. Have a happy learning.